Hello, everyone. Here is an overview of what we're going to talk about in Unit 3. So first thing is the note and rest values. Okay, we're going to I'm going to fill in those for you right now. And so that way, when we talk about this on in our class today, that you wouldn't be confused about it. So we have a whole note here, and then this is the corresponding whole rest. Okay, so a whole note, there will be two half notes in one whole note. So I would fill in those half notes there. And with the same thing, if we have a whole rest, which is 4 counts, and we would have two half rest, which is you're like a hat. It's written like a hat, draw as a hat. So the hat is basically each of these has two rests. So each of the note has 2 counts. This rest has 2 counts as well. And we have a quarter note. Quarter note has 1 count. So if the half note is 2 counts, there will be 2 quarter notes in 1 half note. So the same thing, 2 quarter notes in a half note. If this is a half rest, this is called a quarter rest. Then we'll have 2 quarter rest in 1 half rest. So this is how I would fill it out. An eighth note is basically half of a quarter note. So there will be 2 eighth notes in 1 quarter note. So the eighth note is the one that you draw a flag like that. So I'm just filling these in. This is the eighth rest. This is how you draw it. You draw like a curve, then you go down. This is how you draw eighth rest. If you're not familiar with how to draw these, I highly recommend you to take a staff paper. You can download these staff paper online on Google and then learn how to draw these. Okay, here it has a very specific instructions on which line that you should put these rests on. So for the whole rest, which are 4 counts, you put on 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth line, you put it on top over there. And then for the half rest, you're gonna draw 1, 2, 3. It's gonna be sitting on the third line. For the quarter rest, which is 1 count, this is like a flash. I always tell my students, think of this as the flash or a bird. And this is a eighth rest that you draw on the 1, 2, 3, the third space, and then come down, only come down to the second line there, okay? Make sure that you don't go over. So another thing that we're gonna cover in this unit is the dotted rhythm, okay? So whenever you see a dot, it basically means that you're adding half of that note value. So if you guys can see, it basically means that we have 2 counts and half of a 2 is 1. So this one has 3 counts, okay? And here, a dotted quarter note. What does that mean? That means you have to add the quarter, which is already there. You add half of a quarter, if you guys remember from what we talked about here. Half of a quarter is an eighth note. So you add an eighth note to it. This is basically a count and half. So it's called dotted quarter note. You always say the dot first. Dotted half note has 3 counts. Dotted quarter note has 1 count and half. So this is 1, 2. So 1 and 2 and. That's on the end of 2. That's the first one. First concept we're going to be covering is the note and rest values. The second one we're going to cover is the time signature. We've all learned there's the 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, but we also have another fancy name to it. Okay, so for the 2/4, we call it duple meter. Okay, this is, I want everybody to remember this. And in a duple meter, the first one is strong, weak. Second one is weak. So when you play any piece that you want to try to emphasize the strong and weak. So the second one is normally not going to be louder than the first one. And we have the triple meter, which is 3, 4, 3. Triple means 3, right? So this is usually often used in waltz. You have a lot of accompaniment like this. So like this. This is typical waltz. You don't want to play like this. That's too loud. So this is strong, weak, weak, strong, weak, weak, strong, weak, weak, strong, weak, weak. That's a very typical waltz time signature. It's 3, 4, 3, 4. We also call it triple meter. So strong, weak, weak. Now we are going to be talking about quadruple meter as well, which is 4, 4. Quadruple means 4. It's basically 4, 4. Then we call it strong, weak, medium, weak. Okay, so we add the medium on the third beat. And also there's another way of writing 4, 4 is C. Okay, it's basically that C over there. These are the main things that we will be talking in Unit 3. If any of you wants to start, go ahead and look at some of the exercises, you're welcome to. So let me know if you have any questions.